Hello world. Me and my Voltron shirt. Another video I wanted to make. It has to do with co-creation and cooperation. It's an important subject. This girl left that I really like this girl. I don't know why. There's something about her that I'm extremely attracted to. And it's not like so much physically. There's something. She's got something. It's the right elements. You know what I mean? Sort of like that gothic chick thing going on, but not really dark gothic, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And of course me, I don't express it well. I'm so far out of the loop. Not really, but kind of. Let me tell you why. I had this experience. I'm out there. I've got the enchanted woods in the front of my yard, where I'm conducting this long-term experiment. We're using the orgone and induction from the river, because we have the river. I have a wire into the river, and I've continually jumped that one lead wire to the orgone devices, whatever they may be. The first one, it started out, it was I built a mound, and I was given 6 bags. You see this tattoo that I have right here. Let's see if you can see it. This tattoo is the shape in which I made the mound. I put, the mound was up like the circle, and then I put the tubes into the mound. Now, what I was brought and given was dirt from different sacred sites on the earth. Like I had Tikal, I had Chichen Itza, I had some Vesuvius ash, that was kind of cool, some pyramid sand and casing stone from the outside of the Great Pyramid. I mean, very uncommon things to get, but I lined them up and I put them in there and did my first attempt at the orgone and wanted to garden, and it was extremely it worked. Like the plants grew faster, they were bigger, and they tasted great. You could eat the corn right off of the stalk. Now corn is one of these foods, but I don't want to get into that now. There's some speculation as to the reasons for corn. Corn might be a weaponized tactic of alien gods. I don't want to go into that. It does sort of tend to make you more aggressive. Something in the corn that makes you prone to anger. Allegedly. I don't know. So I did this, and I've continued using a single wire. I ran the wire into the river from the barbed wire fence, which is the border of our yard. Then since the river is far below, I jumped off of the river and then connected it to my stuff so it had running water as a source. Tends to be a big power booster to the orgone if you have living water systems. It's like the engine. It'd be like an air turbine sort of thing, if you want to generate electricity, but you're not See, orgone energy flows the opposite of normal energy, in that it is a life energy like chi. It may be chi, and it directs itself to the most resistance. So it will go to the stronger plants, if it's plants. So it's a strengthener, and has a lot of other different effects. It has a consciousness effect. It seems to bring into your awareness certain elements or angles that normally would be either unknown or dismissible. Let's just say that. So in the event of this, I got to where I've got this rock. It's a very wonderful rock that I've made a few videos including, and it's out in the front. But the rock has very interesting qualities to it. But I was making a fire out there, and the wind was blowing really good, and it wasn't like I was exposing nature to the possible I'm going to burn stuff down, because I have a hole that it's in. But I'm laying there, and I'm feeding this fire, adjusting it with the stick, and it began to whistle and make a tornado. And in that tornado, got a lot of embers come up, and it actually come up and took form. And it was like it looked like a lady. And the lady smiled. It was all embers. And then I got a communication telepathically. Now I was waiting on somebody at the same time, and I was told to disengage anything with that person. And there would be a reason for that later on, and I did that, and I followed it, and it was on point. And the spirit had also said, I believe it to be a spirit, I believe it to be fire elemental, said that what I had done in my working up until that point was for a purpose, and that I needed to go forward with a companion. Like, it was okay that I had done what I had done alone, but it was not going to be acceptable to try to be solitary, that it wanted me to participate in some sort of co-creating aspect with the female. Didn't matter who, wasn't indicated who, but I think that's probably because of the past and the tendencies of people, and you know, all of our relationships, the men and women relationships, have not done well. You know, it's hard enough to even be friends with people, much less try to have a decent, meaningful relationship. So I say that, and I'm interested, but I mean, from the base, it's like, it's for that reason, because it seems like there's some awareness there. There's enough skeletal, conceptual structure to where that would be able to go forward, because I think that there's a male and female aspect of the creation process as creators that we are far behind in. Let's just say that. And so there I stand, you know, and I have a couple friends I have one friend, a lady friend of mine, that I really like, but for whatever reason, I turn into a 15-year-old whenever I'm around her. You know, very attractive girl. She's got a young daughter, and she's got a baby, too, and we picked berries and did all that stuff, and it's good. You know, at the time, way back whenever she was by herself and struggling, my friend told me, you know, you need to, she was kicked me in the ass, as it were, to get me to be attempting to, like, be there, be that person, you know what I mean? So I put it on myself, as you should participate with society in a productive way, and everybody has their own little gifts that they have that's unique to them. I'm not an exception to this at all. That being said, I understand my gifts, and I know them. I haven't put them all out there, but I know what I can do. And so it makes sense. So consider that. If you have a certain gift and you have someone that you can pair up with, there's a lot of unnatural things being pushed on us with the culture. You know, there's reasons, there's control reasons for that, but then there's spiritual reasons that are even better to actually follow through with, and that's something to consider. You know, what is your gifts? What do you do? What are you good at? And how could you put in a sort of male-female relationship? How could you marry that? Something that people need to think about, because they don't. Everybody's either just thinking about sex, or they're just thinking about something else. They don't take into account that every interaction, every thought that we have is a sort of a co-creative, I don't want to say sex because that's sort of the, we're two halves of a whole, you know. So anything that we're gonna do or do is gonna be halves of a whole. That's our thoughts, our beliefs, our dreams. That doesn't mean you have to get married or be in a relationship or whatever. It just means that if you deal with your male-female relationship, you start over, you tear it down, then I think that there's something at the end of that, like I know it, it's not a question, and that's sort of the point. So I just want to put that on people's minds and share a little bit. Thank you.